Carlos Villanueva is an entrepreneur and a senior executive with more than 15 years of experience in business development, marketing, and go-to-market operations across the globe. He's dedicated the last few years to bridge customer needs with business solutions in the CPaaS ecosystem. We know that the 21st century is a century of rapid technologies, and this is why I'm so excited and happy to invite our new guest, Carlos. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm happy to be part of this session.
Carlos will share about CPaaS and how it can affect the business growth. But could you start with that, please?
Sure. First of all, I would like to do a bit of an intro in the CPaaS field. We all know that CPaaS has been in the market for quite a long time, but during the pandemic, let's say the digitalization of our society has really accelerated by, I would say, 3 to 4 years over a short period of time. So the impact has seen a massive digital adoption by consumers and many enterprises that have been basically forced to follow the trends of digital adoption. So CPaaS, let's say, or programmable communications, what is that? It's basically functionalities, telecom functionalities that are exposed to be consumed, in simple words. Those functionalities has been at the epicenter of the trend. So small and medium businesses, but also as well as mid-markets and larger corporations have to swiftly adapt to this new digital adoption. We all know, because we use mobile phones and telecom infrastructure, internet, communication services are exclusive to telecom companies or telcos and communication service providers. However, as they are relying on, I would say, aging infrastructure, they were unable to adapt to this acceleration. So because of this unavailability of digital experiences at scale, enterprises turn to alternative CPaaS communication providers. And this is why we are now talking today about CPaaS providers and the CPaaS services. So what is CPaaS? CPaaS is basically the capability to provide real-time, cloud-based communications that could be programmable, as I said, to connect brands and consumers at scale. So that's quite simple. So many of us, we have been using CPaaS on a daily basis. When you call your taxi, you're using your app, and the driver is calling you back to confirm the appointment. That's been done through a CPaaS. It means that the communications are being basically exposed through an API so that consumer and the brand can use them. That's, let's say, in a nutshell, the CPaaS definition or the CPaaS field. And today, let's say, the market sees big growth since a couple of years, but by 2025, we expect that voice services, SMS services, RCS services are going to grow consistently to achieve revenues around $55 billion. So let's say the market potential is quite big.
Are there any specific business spheres or business sectors which would need CPaaS more than others?
Yes, definitely. For example, nowadays there are very visible use cases. For example, marketing and sales, where when we, for example, contact our specific brand for a specific product, they use CPaaS services to connect the agents with the customers, to exchange messages to different channels. They can use channels like SMS, they can use channels like voice calls or WhatsApp or Viber, etc. So this is an example of CPaaS, how a brand using a tool can communicate with their consumers through different communication channels. Another example of CPaaS services could be contact centers as a service. Contact centers is when we call our brands to complain or to ask for a new service or to ask for technical support. Nowadays, we can do it through their websites or their apps. It means that you can contact the brand through a voice call, through an SMS, or through a direct chat, and the agents or the brand will reply to you in real time. So this is real-time communications.
Okay, that sounds amazing. And how pricey is this technology? Is it affordable for businesses?
I would say that
startups and small businesses.
Yeah. So there are, I would say, different, again, layers. Nowadays there is the possibility for even enterprise developers or app developers to buy from CPaaS providers APIs, and the payment is very much transactional. So they basically use the software development kits to develop their own applications, to develop their own channels of communications, and they pay for the transactions on the SMS and voice services to the CPaaS. So it's quite affordable. The only need there is to have the technology skills to use APIs. On the other hand, there are already, as I said, portals where portals and CPaaS white label providers that they offer software as a service solutions. What it means, you pay a monthly fee and you get access to a software license. It's like you were using your, I don't know, your Excel or Word or Teams. You pay a monthly fee or an annual fee, then you basically get access to a software. And that software, you use it for, offering video, voice, enterprise messaging, wholesale communications, multi-channel communications, etc. So it's quite, I would say it's quite affordable at the moment.
That sounds fascinating. And I would say a bit of a tricky question to finish our interview. Are there any disadvantages of CPaaS?
Disadvantages?
Yes.
That's a good question. Let me think. Disadvantages.
Yeah, some things which are worth considering, but maybe CPaaS would not work so well for some businesses, or maybe it has some little drawbacks which could be a point of improvement.
I think there are three main issues here. The first one is that CPaaS could be only about communication APIs. And many enterprises, businesses, and even consumers, we don't understand what is an API, how to use an API, how do I eat an API, right? I mean, what do I do with that? And that was a common practice since many years. And I consider that was a barrier of adoption for many, especially mid-sized small businesses that were not able to embed this new communication model. Was something I consider as a barrier. The second one is that if you understand the technology, you will probably require someone that has the development and technical skills to insource the technology into your current business operations, business technology, applications, websites, and that can smoothly, let's say, offer orchestration in between your current business. Let's say you are a small business, you are a restaurant, and you would like to integrate communication services towards your customers in your current IT services. How do you do that? Well, you will need someone that has these tech skills to integrate these APIs.
Do we have such people who would actually consult and explain and help to implement?
Yes, actually, yes. So there are actually some, many of these CPaaS service providers, they will offer this service to the mid-size or small size businesses.
So it's not always a problem.
It's not always a problem. It's not always a problem. I would say that it was, and it is not a lot anymore, but especially for mid-sized and small businesses, it could be, but it's because there is a barrier of tech knowledge it's very much related to the point one is, I don't know about APIs, I don't know about CPaaS, I don't know what I can do with this. The second point is, now that I understand what I can do with this, is how do I use it in my current business operations and business IT systems, to who I should call, right? Locally in my market, in my city, who I should call. That's the second thing. There are solutions for the point one or two, but I'm saying these are barriers. And the third one is basically, I mean, why I need to integrate CPaaS in my current business, why I cannot still rely on free social media to communicate with my customers, why I don't rely on simple email, voice calls, or SMS. And the answer to that is, well, you know, CPaaS is here to increase, among others, customer engagement, customer retention, you know, customer services. So businesses we can use CPaaS to increase their customer acquisition, provide a better customer experience to their current existing clients. And that's one of the barriers now is so we speak about understanding CPaaS, we speak about technology, and then the third one is speaking about compared to current tools, why I should use these new services.
But using these new services would actually mean that it is faster, it is automated, it requires less efforts from businesses in terms of the human resources, right?
That's correct. That's correct. So there are many advantages of using CPaaS. I mean, first of all, is as you mentioned, is automation. Automation is, I mean, CPaaS tool will bring a lot of automation in customer engagement, customer service, marketing, sales, follow-ups. I will increase, for example, retention, will increase acquisition in terms of new customers, but also will increase product awareness because you can communicate better with your customers to offer a better service or to promote a new product. So there are different advantages of using CPaaS, but there are still these barriers that little by little the service providers have been, let's say, offering solutions to this. Yeah.
Carlos, thank you very much for explaining us how we could overcome our barriers and move forward with our businesses. We are very grateful for your wonderful answers.
Thank you very much again for the invitation. It was a real pleasure to share my views.